Welcome to the Brockville Museum and another episode of Bmuse. Today we're going to look at what a museum does and why, and we're going to look specifically at what the Brockville Museum does. Now there is an official definition of a museum, so for those of you who like that sort of thing, I thought I would read it off for you. So this definition comes from the International Council of Museums and came out in 2007. And it is: a museum is a non-profit permanent institution in the service of society and its development, open to the public, which acquires, conserves, researches, communicates, and exhibits the tangible and intangible heritage of humanity and its environment for the purposes of education, study, and enjoyment. Well, even in that definition, there's a lot of things, so we're going to unpack them when we go inside the museum. One of the first things that comes to mind when people think about what a museum does is the objects, the artifacts, the things that you see around me here. In fact, here at the Brockville Museum, we bring in 400 new objects a year. But even so, that's only about 20% of what's been offered to us here at the museum, because remember, it needs to be connected to Brockville's history and the story of what happened here. So once an item comes into our collection, we are now the stewards of that item. It doesn't mean, though, that we tuck it away so that nobody ever gets to see it again. We do provide reasonable access to those items that are in our collection. And for things that can't come out and go on display for people to see all the time, requests can be made for us to pull them out. We also do fulfill research requests as well. We do about 100 different research requests a year, and we have volunteers that help us out with that.
And visit some of their graves.
One of the most public things that we do, or at least the most recognizable, is our programming. And we do have exhibits as well as public programs that share the collection and promote Brockville's history to residents as well as visitors and people from all over the world. Now, the reason why we do this is because people are interested in our history and they want to learn more about it. And it also means that we present about 250 different programs a year to an audience of more than 4,000 people. Because the museum has an amazing building, it also means that we have space available for rentals. And people are always looking for a safe place to exchange their ideas. Down in the basement, we have a classroom which is available for meetings and get-togethers and those sorts of things. In fact, it's being rented right now as we speak. But we also have the carriage hall too, and it can be used for lectures and special events. Now, of all the things that the museum does, probably the most obvious is our exhibits. For most folks, this is the only part of the museum that they get to see, but as you now know, it's not the only thing that we do. And luckily here at the Brockville Museum, our exhibits do change from time to time. We may have a seasonal case out in the front lobby that showcases some of the new artifacts that's come into the museum, or there may be a special seasonal or traveling exhibit that comes in. So there's always something new to see when you come and visit our exhibits. And most of our visitors that come here in the summer, 75% of them are coming from out of town, and each of them leaves with a better understanding of Brockville and its history. Now, with all of these big jobs that we covered in our segment today, there are lots of little ones as well. In fact, it's pretty much a full-time job, not just for the staff of the Brockville Museum, but for the more than 100 volunteers who give more than 5,000 hours to the work here at the museum. Over the last little while, they've cataloged and placed on the internet more than 13,000 artifacts as well as documents so that people all over the world can access them through our collection database online at brockvillemuseum.com. But we also have other things that are going on here as well. And if you want to find out more about the museum, what it does, our events or programs, visit us at brockvillemuseum.com or like us on Facebook or Twitter.